Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're doing something new tonight. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about records. We're going to talk about tapes and CDs and music. And it's going to be focused on metal and progressive metal and maybe a little bit of punk rock and maybe a little bit of elements of rock in between. Introducing the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mike Post, ripping for rookies. And
Thank you
he's
so
going to hang out
much.
with me and we're going to talk music for a while.
Yeah, well, we you sent out an email or something. I guess it was 8 months or a year ago, saying you want to get together and just talk Rush, and you were going on at 9 o'clock on Sunday nights, and I was like, oh, I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning on Mondays, and it's just like I don't know if it's going to work. And then a few weeks ago, I shot you an email. I say, hey, you want to get together and talk about Rush? And it's like worlds collided, and here we are. But we kind of expanded a little bit. It's not just going to be about Rush. It's going to be about prog, metal, rock, all that good kind of stuff, the stuff that we grew up to listening to, how we got interested in music, what our influences were, and how it affected our lives. There we go.
Exactly. Hey, I couldn't show up without an Iron Maiden shirt on. That's just not going to happen. All
Nope.
right. So what I like to do, and I do want to quickly shout out to Tim Incognito Sports Cards. He's doing his own live show now on Sundays. It's going to be in the afternoon, where he's going to go over food and beverage cards and the sports cards that he likes. He didn't want
Cool.
to do the music stuff because it didn't really fit his thing. So again, I really appreciate the 120 some odd shows we did together, the 2 years, all the Slim Jims I ate, all the beer I drank, not, and all the coffee I drank. So shout out to Tim. Appreciate him. Let's go ahead and we'll greet the chat and we'll get rocking here.
There you go.
So right off the top, My Life Sunny Side Up. What a beautiful gal she is. She's awesome. Go check out her channel. And her cat channel is Sydney Cat. So please go ahead and put that link in there if you want. I can pin that for you if you want, Sydney Cat. But she donated 5 memberships to the channel. So thank you for that. You are awesome. And Mike, you got one, which is kind of serendipitous.
What's that? What do I got one?
You got one of the memberships that she donated.
Yes,
to the
I
channel.
did, because I was actually had to be here at the time that it was dropped, and I got one.
So that's awesome. So thank you for that, Sydney Cat. My Life Sunny Side Up. And then Alan's here. Thanks, Gradeworthy. Appreciate you being here. One of the OG card guys. Brian Rips, or Budget Rips, Brian. And I appreciate him being here as well. And never a thing, Brian. You haven't been around much. I know life gets crazy sometimes. So appreciate you being here now, brother. You're never late, never early. National Parks Princess, thank you for being here. She's awesome. She had a premiere today. I'll have to go check the replay on that. Julie Farnham. What can you say about Julie Farnham? Super awesome in the card community.
A pillar in the card community, that's for sure.
You know, and she and Zach have been doing some Friday night battles, whether it's UFC or this time it was Garbage Pail Chrome, which is a great rip. So I encourage you to go check out her stuff. And hockey season's coming up soon. So there'll be lots of cool hockey content from Julie and Gaza all the way from the UK. It's late there. It's like midnight. So thanks for being here, Adam. Great guy. And you know where he lives, Mike? Gaza?
No idea.
He is from Birmingham.
No way.
Place of Black Sabbath. Yes, man.
And ELO. And a lot of bands.
One of the birthplaces of heavy metal. Judas Priest. Yeah. Another one, right?
Absolutely.
The Mighty Priest.
Yeah.
So appreciate you being here, Gaza. You're the man. And Audra's here. Thanks for being here, Audra. And Joey's from Riding the Pine. Again, another Philly guy. Thanks for being here, Joe. Appreciate you, pal. And rest in peace to Bernie Perrant and all the people down in Philly. No, it's
Bernie had a great life.
For sure.
I mean, he was a legend, and he stayed in the area, and he was just absolutely an amazing human being.
He was a man's man for sure. Robert Pop Springs, aka Gramps, aka Robert. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
Pops?
Goody G's here. Another community pillar. I love this guy. Appreciate you being here, Goody. And Nature Dog Realms dropped a $5 super chat. Thank you, Nature Dog. I really appreciate you very much. You're awesome. And in case everybody's wondering, I'm going to say this one more time. No meat logs are in the chat this evening. All right. So in case you're not wondering what a meat log is, it can be multiple things, but in this case, it refers to meatloaf.
There we go.
I'm not down with meatloaf. I just can't do it. It's just, I don't care how much ketchup you put on that shit. It's gross. Hey, Cardito Sports Cards is in the chat. Okay, so for 2 years, I've been streaming on Sundays. For 2 goddamn years. This is the first time Tim's been in the chat. So,
hey, maybe.
Well done, Tim.
I don't think I'm a member yet. So I'm trying to post links. Give me a wrench.
Oh well, I will now.
So I can start posting some of these links so I can subscribe to some of these great people out there.
There we go. Perfect. We got you now.
All right. Awesome.
So thanks for being here, everybody. We're doing something new for those of you just coming in. Nature Dog and I both agree that we're not down with meatloaf. We're gonna be doing some music stuff. Tonight. Mike and I are gonna talk about. Hey, Hammy, thanks for being here, brother. Another pillar of the card community. One of the strongest guys I know. Fucking Hammy, man. How you doing? Appreciate you being here, Mike. You're a great guy.
That's great to meet.
We're gonna talk about music.
All these new people. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, but this is another facet of the card community.
Yep.
And we're at Goody. Awesome. We're gonna check it out. And all these people are great. Come from all kinds of different creators, walks of life, everything. It's awesome. We're gonna talk about music tonight. We're gonna talk about what we got into music and sort of the story of sort of what was the album that got us into listening to music. And so we're gonna talk about that. And I have something else from my friend and yours. I Love Baseball Cards sent me a bunch of cassette tapes. So we're going to check out what those are. Add that to the wonderful cassette collection I have going on in the drawers below here. Like, I don't know, 700 or 800 of them. Here, let's just take a handful out just to show what we're talking about. Oh, here's Kiss Destroyer. This one here is Def Leppard and Creedence. There's a few. Yeah, we got a couple down here. So we'll be showing that too from time to time and talking about those albums. So hopefully everybody's down for this. All right, let's go. All right, so Mike, I'm going to get you to start off a little bit here.
Okay.
Tell us a bit for the people that don't know you, and I know most of us in the chat do, but for those who you don't, tell me a little bit about your story and the music you into, how you got into it, and sort of what's the little bit of the background there.
How long is this live stream?
We're going to go for 75 minutes.
All right. Let's start with the beginning. I guess it was my parents and what they listened to. Pretty much is what I listened to until I could afford to go out and buy record albums. And, at the time, 8 tracks. Remember the 8 tracks? Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. You have a nice long song, and all of a sudden there's a click, and it goes to the next part of the song. And I remember getting 8 tracks and stuff like that for Christmas and for my birthday and stuff like that. And my dad always kind of went the wrong direction when it came to music. Or to technology. He went with 8 tracks while everybody else went with cassettes. So I kind of got it. I had to get into the 8 tracks. And when he passed away, I'm cleaning out the attic, and all these 8 boxes of 8 tracks are up there. And they are just, from the heat and everything, they're all warped. The little felt thing was falling off and wasted. Yep. And couldn't even play them. I found an 8-track player. I put one in. It sounded like garble. I actually got it to work. I was like, no, these are no good. So they basically went away. I held on to a few of them for like nostalgic reasons and stuff like that. But let's see. My mom was into, her number one was Elvis, no doubt, because, a teenager growing up in the 50s, you're into Elvis or and that's it. My dad, my mom, Elvis, and I would say kind of more of the Motown. She got into, like the Temptations and the Four Tops and the Supremes. And my dad was also into the Supremes too. at one point, but there were 45s by Little Richard and Fats Domino and all kinds of stuff. So it was a nice array. My dad was into more of kind of like country and like rock or rockabilly at the time. His biggest influence was Buddy Holly and Johnny Cash. And Buddy Holly is still one of my favorite, and I'm still going to say most underrated musicians of all time. He wrote all of his music. He played all of his music. He composed all of the music. He, in a span of 2 years before he passed away, he had a lifetime of music for most artists out there. And it's a shame. He was like my number one that passed away way too soon. And I remember when CDs started coming out, and I had I got a double disc of Buddy Holly, or 50 songs on it. Remember, his songs were only 2 minutes long, 3 minutes at the most. And I bought it, and just
exactly
everything from the beginning to the end. And then for my dad's birthday, I got him the same one. And he was like, I can't believe all these songs are on 2 discs. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty much amazing. My parents also jointly liked Creedence Clearwater Revival. And also,
hell yeah.
Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah. Simon and Garfunkel was another big one of them, and I listened to all those albums. I don't think I have a Simon and Garfunkel album anymore, but it was I remember it was Mrs. Robinson. I remember the album cover of that. The Sound of Silence was the other one that they had. But the one album that I played over and over on this little kids turntable was this one, and I still have it. It's the one that I held on for the longest time. It was Johnny Cash live at Folsom Prison. Just an absolutely
go.
Yeah, this was the record from Columbia when he said he's going to do an acoustic. It's from the movie. He said he was going to do an acoustic live album, and even the record company said, listen, everything's electric now. Bob Dylan's going electric. Everybody's going electric. You're going to, do something like this. And it was the number one selling album at the time for Columbia. And I played that album backwards, forwards. I knew every song, every word to everything, and really got me in tune to music. As I got older and was able to start to purchase albums on my own, I remember the first album that I purchased was The Who, Who's Next. Something about The Who gravitated towards me. When I was, I guess, 10 or 11 years old, riding around on my bike, delivering newspapers, saved up enough money and went out and purchased that. And I remember being in the record store, and I'm going through all the Who albums. And these guys, I guess they must have been in their 20s. And it was like, what's this kid doing buying a Who album? I said to them, I said, you want kids like me to get into this kind of music because it's going to carry it on, and
for real.
And then I was just kind of, I actually saw them live. It was their first farewell tour. Okay. The first of many farewell tours by The Who. It was September 25th, 1982 at JFK Stadium. I remember the ticket price was $17.50. And the lineup was the Hooters, which was a local band from Philadelphia, Santana, The Clash, and The Who for $17.50. Boy, did my world explode after hearing all of those bands. I was like, oh, I got to get this music. And then I started to get into more down towards like prog music and stuff like that, because I liked elaborate compositions. Basically from the first ELO album I bought, which was Out of the Blue, with the string sections and all that stuff, and how it was a little bit more elaborate. And I remember in 1980. I was 14 years old, and oh, you were there. Awesome. The Hooters Classic. Great. Yeah, I got to start looking at the chat instead of yakking the whole time. JFK Stadium was great, but oh man, it was a toilet. There's no doubt about it.
That's awesome.
And then I remember I was down at, growing up in Northeast Philadelphia, like every section of the city had its own like little strip center where, there would be a bunch of shopping. It was like kind of like a shopping center, but it was all down one road, and it would have like a bar, a little grocery store, a drugstore, a barber, a pizza place, a 5 and 10 store, a clothing store, and all this other stuff. And I just remember this guy sitting in his car, and I heard the opening guitar riff to the song, and it was like electric, and I'm like, what is that sound? And I went up to him, because I was not a shy kid. I went up to him and I said, who is that? He's there. That's Rush. I'm like, what? I said, what's the song? He goes, Spirit of the Radio. I said, what's the album? He goes, Permanent Waves. Well, guess what? I had to deliver a hell of a lot more papers just to get that album.
Hell yeah. That was the best album that came out that year.
And for the entire time of Rush that I've been, I saw them on the Moving Pictures tour back in 81. That was my first concert ever. It was kind of like one of those deals where I knew if I asked my parents, there's no way I'm going to be able to go. I was 15 years old at the time. And so it was like we had a friend who was older who got 4 tickets. He was able to drive. So like you kind of do that kind of sneaky thing where it's like, hey, I'm going to go stay over at his house. And then his parents would say, hey, I'm going to go send over at his house.
Yeah, we did that too.
To the concert. Yeah. And I don't have the ticket stub because of incriminating evidence. If my parents saw that ticket stub, I would have been pretty much dead. But that concert, and I saw them, and it was just 3 guys and pulling off this amazing music, and the whole back catalog of Rush, being played at that concert, and songs that I never heard before. It was just like, and just. It was totally moving to see a band like that. And I saw them every tour since 29 times, I saw every tour. Yes. Some tours I saw multiple times. The R30 tour I saw 5 times because it was so great, because it was like right after their comeback from Vapor Trails. Yeah. And they did the whole intro for the first 8 albums. Yes. And went in the Spirit of the Radio and just played all of the hits. It was so unreal.
We didn't think we were going to get Neil to come back from that trip in Africa. We thought he was going to be there forever.
Yeah, so that was. They had we can go into Rush in another podcast, but we'll probably need several to do that. Just I guess
I'm there for it.
Each 4 albums. 4 albums, live album. Okay, let's recap that. 4 albums, live album. Let's recap that. And
Permanent Waves is a big one for me too.
Yeah. It was. It's always been number 1 or number 2 as far as my go-to album. It's between that and Farewell to Kings. Those are my top 2. Yeah,
Kings
those are my top 2. And then that started. There were 2 songs on there that started me going down the prog path, which was Natural Science and Jacob's Ladder. So I started listening to that, and then I started buying the let's see, met the whole band. I joined the band Fly By Night. Oh wow, you met them a long time ago. Okay, wait a minute, hold on. I got something. I didn't meet Neil.
Thanks for being here, Jim. Appreciate you. Christopher Works, everybody coming in. Dom, everybody. Cindy Cat, thank you again for the memberships. You were the best.
I didn't meet Neil, but me and my buddy met Getty and Alex. So I'm very happy about that. That's when I was about 200 pounds. I had an office job at the time. So
I hear you, buddy.
Had a little bit of weight on me.
Fucking killing me, man. It's killing me. It's not
Yeah,
the job. It's the hot dogs at lunch. That's what gets you.
Yeah, McDonald's was not good. Yeah,
No.
but that was the Snakes and Arrows tour, and that's when I was a buyer of movies, and we had a music division, and they got me backstage passes and meet and greets, and we were like 10 rows from the stage. It was like, yeah, it was like
That's
a perfect
fucking awesome,
night.
dude. I love it.
So let's see, and that got me started going down the Prog part, and I started to get into Yes.
Oh yeah,
Emerson, Lake and Palmer. King Crimson was just a little too proggy deep for me. I would say out of all the bands, they are the proggiest, and they've never kind of swayed from that part of total prog, and they were kind of tough to get into. Russian Metallica, and I see the most live. Rush 4 times, Metallica 5. Nice. I've never seen Metallica. I've got to see Metallica. I did see Maiden and Judas Priest. But back in the day, I mean, it was like $12 a ticket. How could you not go to concerts when tickets are $12 to see these bands? Yeah. Goody loved King Crimson, man.
Oh yeah, I did too. But you're right. I got a love-hate relationship with the lead singer of that band.
With the lead singer? Which lead singer?
Greg
Lake? John Wetton? Fleischman?
Fleischman. I just don't care for that feller.
No.
I just don't. No, he's weird.
And then the group Asia came along, and that really got me going, because now it was like Carl Palmer, who I knew, Steve Howe, who I knew, John Wetton, who I really didn't know as a lead singer, bass player, and Jeffrey Downs, who was on Yes Drama album. Then before that was the Buggles, Video Killed the Radio Star, first song on MTV. But of course, with Philadelphia politics, we didn't get cable TV until 1986, because there were 4 groups trying to get the territory of Philadelphia, and it just got tied up in politics the whole damn time. And that kind of like blended all the prog together. And I would say that Asia album was not prog. I don't think there was one prog song on there. It had prog element.
Power rock. Yeah, it was more rock.
It was more rock, more radio friendly.
Like music. Europe was when Final Countdown came out. That style of music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that was 82. Asia's first album came out, and I saw them in 83 with the Alpha tour, and we went down to the Spectrum. It was only like half sold out, and like, what's going on, and then the wheels came off, and Asia kind of broke up. But then I've seen them 5 times since with the original lineup. Back in from like, I guess, when did he get back? Like 2005, 2006. And I saw them 5 times, up until then.
Yeah. And I know they are a band that's near and dear to your heart, sir.
Yeah. They were a great. Yeah. I really enjoyed their music, and everybody's going to say, well, what's your favorite song off of the first album? Well, you got Heat of the Moment, Only Time Will Tell, Soul Survivor, Wildest Dreams, Here Comes the Feeling. My favorite song is Without You, because it starts off so haunting, and John Wetton in a low key voice. And by the time, the song ends, you feel the pain, you feel the anguish in his voice. His voice is like an instrument, and it carries it through the entire song. And I think he's probably one of the most underrated singers of all time. Everybody says Freddie Mercury. Yeah, Freddie Mercury, flat out, hands down, great. And then, Robert Plant,
Ian Gillan from Deep Purple, Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden.
Exactly. There are so many. Yep, Dio. So many great music. I mean, even Rob Halford from Priest. He's got a great voice. And he's still
Oh,
carrying
yeah,
it now in his 60s, 70s. You know, he's
yeah.
still
Oh,
he's
yeah.
still got the
For
voice going.
sure. For
He
sure.
can't walk too well, but you know, the voice is
Goody
still there.
asked if you ever were into Public Image Limited, and the answer is yes, I was, Goody.
I saw them open for In Excess on the was it the Kick tour? It might have been Kick or it might have been X, one or the other tours, but I did see them open up.
Nice. Now, you mentioned the album that got you into music, and again, I think Rush is a really cool segue for a lot of great conversation. I love Rush so much, being Canadian, of course, being a power trio, having the best drummer who ever effing lived on this fucking planet.
Now, okay. Now, here's the one thing. When they always say about best drummers, they always bring up Keith Moon, John Bonham, Neil Peart, Ginger Baker, and four totally different styles.
Yeah.
I don't really categorize Neil as a drummer, just drummer. He was a percussionist. He brought everything into that drum kit and used it. I mean, you see his drum kit, and there's not one drum that he doesn't use, or one, piece of synth or xylophone, wind chimes, all kinds of stuff that he's got going on there. He was just tubular bells, all that stuff.
There's a lot of them, but for me, those are some of mine. There's a bunch. I got a bunch of jazz.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many. But who's the best?
Neil was, to me at the time, he was one of the best.
Oh yeah, time. You see a Neil Peart drum solo, your head's going to explode.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah, and you're right. And you have to understand Rush to really get it. You really do.
You do.
You have to listen to Xanadu, either sober or not sober, in the morning or in the evening, or 1,000 times in one day, and then come talk to me about music. Just gonna say
Xanadu's my number one Rush song, and it will always be my number one Rush song.
Yeah, and La Strangiato is another one that is especially live. That just like gives me that sends shivers down my spine.
How do they pull it off? That's the big thing.
Getty had that big nose. Getty had that big nose. He was able to move that microphone around while he's playing piano and playing bass.
Exactly.
He was the man. Now, I want to talk a little bit about some of my musical experiences.
Just go right ahead.
I'm going to mention a few things. I had two separate waves of music that came over me at two different times of my life. Here, and I'm going to show this in a minute. But when I was a young kid, my dad had a record shop. It's called Kelly's Stereo and Sound with my uncle. And I remember running around there when I was a kid and rushed it in store during the Permanent Waves tour. I was 3 years old at the time because I'm a little bit younger. I was born in 1977. But I remember that. And that was always near and dear to my heart as well. But again, my first album I got with my own paper route money again was this record here. And I got it from Dad's shop before they closed the shop because eventually things changed and people didn't want stereos anymore and stuff, and they just kind of wanted CDs and all that. And so people weren't really, dying for record players and stuff. But was this album here. This is Kiss Destroyer. If people might have heard the story before, but this is one of my favorite records ever. I love this record so much. It's a classic. This is the Japanese printing. And it is the original printing. So I'm going to put it on the other camera because that light is really upsetting me a little bit. And I don't have very much tolerance for stupidity tonight. So this is it here. And this is probably the angle I'm going to use going forward anyway. It seems to work better, Mike. I know we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
This is the Japanese OBI, which is the Japanese writing on this record here. This had all the classics, but Detroit Rock City, King of the Nighttime World, Shut It Out Loud, and of course, Beth. And this is the Bogart Blue Labels. Zach, I remember we talked about this in the previous podcast we had done. But this is the Bogart Blue Label with Neil Bogart as the president of Casablanca on the front of it. These are the first printings. And these are the ones that people are looking for.
So is that like an SSP in baseball term?
Yeah. This is the first printing. And it's it's one of those ones where, you're going to pay $150 for this record. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, luckily, I got this for not that because I got it back in the day. But this is a gatefold. It looked like that. So you had the big Kiss Army propaganda here on the other side. They shouted out loud, which was their big thing of the time.
Yep.
And I've been a massive, massive Kiss fan since I was 10 years old. Huge Kiss fan. I loved Kiss as a kid. Loved them very much. And that was the band I really got into as a kid. And it was because of my buddy's brother, older brother. He was big into them, and he kept writing their logo on everything. So I was like, what the hell is this? So I went and looked it up, and then we went, and I had some money, like I said, for my paper route. Hey, Ken, thanks for coming. And I went and bought it. I came home, and I listened to it. I put on Detroit Rock City. And that first bit where it's the radio, and he's getting into his car, and he's actually listening to his own death that's coming up while he cranks this stuff. And right at the start is Rock and Roll All Night from Dress to Kill. It's a little bit on the radio right at the start. You can catch it if you really listen to it. You can hear it, and then that just boom, 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 when it comes at you. And Peter Criss has that nice. Hey Frank, thanks for coming. That jazzy kind of feel when he's like it's so jazzy. It's got a nice swing and a nice groove to that song. I love that song so much. Still to this day, it's one of the first songs I learned playing drums. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I love that record so much. So that record, I have, I think, 12 copies of that record. And I have another 10 or 15 on cassette. And I just whipped out the cassette earlier. I don't know if I put it that far, but it's around. And here. This is the Canada only priceless copy from Priceless. This was a discount. You could only get this one in Canada. So this is worth quite a bit of money as well. I have, I think, 13 or 14 versions on cassette as well. It's one of my favorites. And I went down the Kiss catalog, man. I went down the Kiss rabbit hole as a kid. Loved Kiss. And again, it was one of the reasons why I started playing music. I wanted to be Peter Criss, man. Like, who didn't when they were like 10 years old? This was like, it's the biggest thing ever.
And who did Kiss recruit to open up Canada for them?
Rush, of course.
Absolutely. And Rush said that they were the best band to work with. They gave them the full sound check. They didn't screw with them or anything like that.
Exactly.
And,
like
I just remember Getty saying, say what you will about Kiss, but nobody works harder to put on a live show than Kiss. Got to give
true.
props.
And you know what? So that was really the band that got me in. And then when I was about 12, 13 years old, my other buddy's brother was big into Iron Maiden. So, hey, no worries, Goody. Thanks for coming, man. And
Goody, have a good one, man.
And that album, to me, was Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. That album changed my life. 1988, it changed my life. I saw different colors in the sky. It changed my life. So they were opening up the Canadian leg of the 88 tour here where I live. And I was like, what, 12 years old? So my parents wouldn't let me go. I wanted to go so bad. I really did. I was like, okay. So I was really ticked off about it. Like I made a big deal about it. I want to go see Iron Maiden in 88. Like this would have been the pinnacle of life, man. They were like at their highest peak in 88 when that album dropped. They were huge.
So what, that was Number of the Beast, Power Slave, and
it was the Seventh Son tour.
Yeah. So then it was right after Power Slave.
Yeah, it was what they would have called Made in England.
Okay.
Remember they did the Donington Castle in 88, and they did the Made in England album and video and VHS, and then they took that stage show across the world for 2 years, 3 years. But they opened up here, so I didn't get to see them. I was so bummed out. Yes, that's true, Chris. And so when they came back in 2012 and they did the anniversary tour of Made in England across Canada, I did 12 fucking shows, baby. 12 shows across Canada. I went to Michigan. I went to New York. I went everywhere. And you know what? I called my mother every fucking show. Guess what, Mom? Guess what? I'm at another Maiden show, and I'm listening to the same set list you wouldn't let me go to back in '88. Have a great night. Click.
Yeah, there you go.
Now,
Nice.
guess who opened for them in Canada in 2012 when they did Made in England?
God.
You ready for this?
What's that?
You ready?
Okay.
Alice Cooper, baby.
Really?
Cooper 12 times too.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And then in the States, it was Coheed and Cambria. Not my style of metal. Like, I'm not a new metal guy. Like, for me,
They were highly, that group was highly influenced by Rush.
Oh, yeah.
Coheed and Cambria. They're kind of like a prog metal and something else. And I can't put my finger on it.
Almost like Opeth, like a melodic heavy metal. Like, yeah. I didn't get them at the time, you know. So I just skipped them and then just wait for the main show. When we were down stateside, I went to see them in Michigan. It was New York and Wisconsin.
Okay.
Like this outdoor festival in Wisconsin bullshit. And just in and out, man, just gone, you know. And loved Iron Maiden, seen them 25 times, baby. 25 times. So I understand the Rush that, you know, you get up into the 20s, baby. The roadies know you, the band knows you, you're always up front. It's a group, and you probably saw that too with Rush. It's a group. You're going there, like I could go there with nobody and come out with knowing 20 other new people.
Exactly. Because everybody there is hardcore, diehard Rush fans, you know. And it was like the one guy that I was just talking to the guy next to me, you know, at the Clockwork Angels tour. We were 3 rows from the stage, dead center. You know, I paid the $300 a ticket because I knew it was coming to an end. I knew there wasn't going to be much more after that. So it was kind of like a lottery where it was like you're going to be placed within the first 15 rows, and you know, and you won't know until you get there. So we got there and we got our tickets. So like, dude, we're 3 rows. Dude, we're dead center. We're like freaking right in front of Neil.
And you know what?
Here. Alex is here. It's like, we are there. And it was
I passed up that tour. I passed that up to go to Maiden. And
you did? Oh, they had the string section with them too.
And it was
Angels tour.
It was one of those, like, I only have a certain amount of play money right now. and you know, like I had to make a choice, and I regret it as much as I love to see Iron Maiden. Like, I saw Maiden on the Book of Souls tour 4 more times, seen them in 2015, 2017, 2018, 19, 20. 21 was the last time I saw them in Toronto. We did 2 nights back to back right up front at the amphitheater. And it was one of those, like, okay, well, I got to spend $1,000 to get there by airplane, right? It's going to be $1,000 for the show. I'm already down $2,000. If I go to Clockwork in Boston, I'm screwed. I can't do both. So I had to make a choice.
Jim Maynard, yeah, absolutely. I want Getty's baseball memorabilia collection. Have you ever seen that?
Oh,
Maybe?
And you know, like, you do know that Getty sits behind home plate at the Jays games.
Yes, I do.
at $15,000 a game.
Yeah.
Well, you can always see him there.
I think he can afford it.
But he's what I love about Getty is he's an everyman, because my cousin met him and told him that I loved him, and he said, "Well, tell your cousin that I said hello." And he's a great fellow, and he raised his nephew as well as his own. And his nephew's quite a musician in the Toronto area.
Really?
Great fellow as well. And so Getty's awesome. But what I love about Getty is he still does the box score the old school way when you're watching the baseball game.
Absolutely.
And you can see him. He loves baseball.
Yep.
You know? Yep. And he's a great guy. He's a great ambassador for Toronto and a great musician, of course. But Iron Maiden for me was the next transition, sort of when my nuts dropped. Like Kiss was cool up until I got about 15. And then I still listen to Kiss and I still collect Kiss. I got tons of Kiss in my collection. But I was always moving on to, you know, heavier stuff. Iron Maiden, especially Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, British New Wave of heavy metal. Huge fan of Iron Claw, which is a band from Scotland. Deep Purple. I'm a massive Deep Purple fan. I love that band so much.
So let me throw this question at you. Why isn't Iron Maiden in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? First of all, they frown on metal.
Yeah.
Which
and
is
plus the whole thing's a fucking
BS.
scam anyway.
Yeah, it's a total scam.
Mm.
Iron Maiden, they did it right. They didn't get airplay in the States at all, except for what were the two songs? Aces High and Flight of Icarus were the only two songs I ever heard in the Philadelphia area during the time of Iron Maiden. That was it. No airplay. But they did it on touring. They did it on their shows. They did it on playing live.
They built it. They built her one fan at a time.
Well,
and they never forgot that.
I think that there's so many comparisons between Rush and Maiden. It's if you really go down that rabbit hole, it's kind of mind-boggling how they built their fan base, how loyal their fan bases are, how they did it without Rolling Stone or mainstream radio or any kind of promotion like that. They did it themselves. They stayed true to themselves.
Hey, Ken.
And their fans stayed with them.
What do you think of this, Mike?
Oh, was that all autographed?
Yeah, that is when they opened World Slavery in '84 in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
That was the first show of World Slavery, the massive, 3-year tour they did, and that's signed by everybody in the band.
Wow.
So you got Nico, you got Bruce, you have Adrian Smith, Steve Harris, and Dave Murray. And it's actually signed to Q104. Look at that, the radio station. So there you go.
I'm going to have to say I'm a little bit jealous.
So there's the Steve Harris there. We got Bruce over here. And then we got Nico down here. Because Nico always said ta. And then I think Adrian Smith is up there as well. But yeah, I have that. That was autographed by them in 1984 when they opened up Slavery. And they were doing that's really bad. They were doing a bunch of radio promo. So they've had this one, and 2 Minutes to Midnight is the other song you're thinking of. They got some radio airplay. And 2 Minutes, they also took that single and signed it and gave it away as a giveaway for the radio station. And I bought this from the record shop owner in Halifax, who used to be the DJ there. So he got them. And he sold them. He's like, hey, Sticks, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Ken.
What's up, Sticks?
He sold them. He was selling them for $100 each. I got them down to 75 for the Aces High. I didn't have enough money to get the second one. I should have. I kicked myself in the fucking nuts for it. Yeah. But I do have that, and I have the Providence with it. Tattooed Millionaire. I was going to show that tonight, actually, Jim. I do have that in the collection here as well. And I'm a big Maiden fan, as you can tell. There's the Clairvoyant right there. And I have a huge Iron Maiden thing up here as well. I love this band so much. I have the tattoos to prove it. Oh, Aces High. Oh, it must be on this one. Okay, there's Aces High for you.
There we go.
So yeah, I'm a big guy when it comes to Iron Maiden as well. Probably what got me to get better at music, what got me to progress into other bands. Like I got into Iron Maiden. I was like, well, what did Bruce listen to? Well, he loved Ian Gillan. Okay, well, let's get into Deep Purple beyond Smoke on the Water.
Yeah.
Let's really dive into
it.
Right. And the original lead singer of Deep Purple wasn't Ian Gillan. He was in another band. Well, okay, well, what was the other guy's band? Oh, there's Warhorse, there was Dust, there's all kinds of these great prog metal bands like Elf with Ronnie James Dio. So many bands that are not mainstream that these guys played in that was just as good. So that's how I got into this, was all from that. It all comes down from Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, and the Somewhere in Time record. Yeah. Somewhere in Time is just, it's proggy. It's very synthy, though. It's very synth rock as well. It's an interesting one. Because as you know, Alexander.
It's progressive metal. That's what it is. That's what it was about Maiden. I mean,
it was
Killer's album, and then Number of the Beast. But when my friend and I listened to Power Slave, he just got Power Slave, and he gave me a phone call on the rotary phone, right? And you have to be there to get it. And he's there, yo, I just got Power Slave. Let's take a look at it. And we're looking at all these, like, okay, so it's Egyptian ruins and all this stuff, and now Eddie's in a sarcophagus. Okay, what's going on here? Right. And we're looking at the names of the songs, and we're like, what is this one? Loss of word. Oh, Loss of Words. Oh, okay. Put that on, and it's an instrumental. Okay.
Yeah, great.
But the song that got me was Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. It's my favorite Maiden song of all time, and always will be.
And they played that in the 2012 tour. I got to see that live so many times, man.
My God.
I got to the point where when they started to do the slow part, and when it starts to rebuild and the guitar solo right through the bridge, and they bring the lights down and they bring the fog, I would look over at John, my buddy John, and be like, okay, now it's beer time. Let's hit the beer tent. We got about 3 minutes till this fucking gets really going again. We got to that point of the show. Like, loved it. Seen them in Darien Lake in New York. Oh man, what a band.
That is their, to me, that is their 2112. That is like the one song that you go to see Rush, and I only saw bits and pieces of it until the Test for Echo tour, when they did the entire song live. And it was just like, wow. And that's the Test for Echo tour is, I think, the first time that they toured without an opening act, and they did it in 2 sets. So it was that's when the shows went from an hour and a half to 2 hours to over 3 hours long.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're like, well, Iron Maiden, when Rush went to the UK, Iron Maiden put them on their tour too. Like they opened up for them in Donington.
Yeah.
When they played at the Castle. And that was an epic show too. Like they were down in Brazil when Iron Maiden opened up in Brazil in 85. Like they went crazy over there. It was the largest show ever, ever. There's like 400,000 people or some crap. Like it's insane.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
And it's funny because all these years later, we're still talking about Iron Maiden. They're still touring. They're still playing. Bruce Dickinson did a tour here through the States here recently for a solo record. Doing all kinds of press and stuff, talking about Iron Maiden's not done. They're going to put out another record. There's going to be another tour. The Days of Future Past tour is coming as well for Iron Maiden, North America. There's so much going on. These guys don't stop.
That's great.
And they're bigger now than they've ever been.
Yeah.
It's insane. And it's all Asia.
Unfortunately, the drummers in those types of band, they have to stop. It's just like the wear and tear on the drummers. Like even Neil said, he's there like when he was still alive and talking about it, he's there like, I can play Charlie Watts, fine, and nothing against Charlie Watts, but I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to play Neil Peart stuff anymore.
Well, that's right. And Nico McBrain said the same thing last year when he retired from touring with Maiden. Now he's down in Cape Coral, Florida, working at Rock and Roll Ribs. So if you're in Florida, go down and hang out with Nico. He's down at Rock and Roll Ribs. Great spot. And actually, it was sent a TTM to him before the strike started.
I'd like to play around the golf with Nico. I think that would be so cool.
He's a cool cat.
He's a character.
He is. He's such a nice guy. And they know who breads their butter, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they know who's up front every night.
Right. It's their fans. If it wasn't for the fans, it's like you got nothing.
No, exactly. And speaking of the last one we did was Legacy of the Beast. And it was in Toronto. And we did 2 nights up front. And it was a wonderful show, I will say. And Dave Murray gave me this.
Oh, there you go.
And I also met Rod Smallwood, the manager of Iron Maiden. And because he was on the soundboard, we went up and he gave me the schedule for the band for the venue for the day. So that includes all the catering, where they need to be, what timing, and it just says Legacy of the Beast Iron Maiden schedule of events. It's awesome. Like, do you want that? I'm like, hell yeah, I want that. Yeah. Nobody has that. I want that.
Yeah. And did you ever meet anybody from
one.
Who'd you
And
meet?
Yannick Gears, and we met him when we were in Buffalo, New York. He was having a beer at a place called Bada Bing, which is right downtown. And it was like a wings joint. And my friend's like, we're in Buffalo. We have to have wings. I'm like, are you sure? Because I've heard you don't have wings in Buffalo. He's like, we'll just go. Okay. We'll just go and have a beer. It's like 11 a.m. Right. And then we look over and there's Yannick Gears and Rod Smallwood in the back booth having a beer. So I waited for him to come up and I said, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. And I just left it at that. Thank you. Shook his hand and
that's it. Just thank you.
No pictures, no nothing, just whatever. And it was good, you know. Now, if I would have met him at a meet and greet, I would have expected more because I paid for it. Yeah. This man is just trying to have a beer with his friend.
That's it.
Before the gig.
That's it.
So just let him
have
be.
his time.
Now I did get to meet David Ellefson and Dave Mustaine and the band of Megadeth.
Okay.
I did that in a meet and greet. And I met Alex Skolnick from Testament, and I literally ran into Chuck Billy from Testament. You do know that Chuck Billy's like almost 7 feet tall, like close to 300 pounds, right? And I had my head down, and I was walking out of the venue that we were hanging out at, and I literally ran into his belly. I bounced off, and I looked up. I'm like, "You're Chuck Billy." He goes, "And you're you." I was like, "This is classic." So back then I smoked, right? And I took my cigarette pack out because back then I smoked. I took the 3 darts that were left, and I got him to write on the back of the cigarette pack and sign it for me. And he's like, "You know him?" He points at Alex Skolnick, the guitar player for Testament. I'm like, "Fuck, of course I know this guy." So I got him to sign my ticket stub.
Oh, nice.
And Alex, it was his birthday that night. And what I thought was really cool is he stood out of the tour bus on his own birthday, made sure everybody had an autograph before he left.
Wow.
On his own birthday. Like, he's a rock star. He's Alex Skolnick. He's Trans-Siberian Orchestra. He's Testament. He's one of the best guitar players of the modern era. And he's got time for you. Says a lot about him. He's a nice guy.
Damn right it does.
And I met Mickey D from Motorhead fame and Merciful Fate, who is a great fellow as well.
Well, I met Geddy and Alex, and let's see, when we had a conference out in California, when I was with Baker and Taylor, when I was a video buyer, all the music buyers out there, I met Susanna Hoffs and Matthew Sweet.
Oh, nice.
But here's the biggie. When I was married for 5 years before I met Pat. And my wife's father was the head of security for Led Zeppelin during the Physical Graffiti tour. So when Page and Plant came along, I met Jimmy Page and Robert Plant.
You did?
I did.
Were they gentlemanly old Englishmen?
Robert Plant was my height. I'm 5'10". Jimmy Page was like 5'6". So when I met Jimmy Page, he comes walking down, the backstage with a blonde on each arm. And I was like, okay, that's Jimmy Page.
He's the man. That's Jimmy Page. He's the man.
When I first saw Robert Plant, it was like we were outside of his dressing room or something like that. Somebody knocks on the door and puts down like a can of soda or something like that. And here comes Robert Plant. He opens the door. He's got a towel around him. I guess he just got out of the shower. He goes, "Did somebody knock at my door?" And I pointed down like there's a soda there. "Oh, thank you." And inside his dressing room was like this whole Moroccan room. Everything from Morocco music playing and all that stuff. So that was my first time I saw Robert Plant. He was in a towel. And then after the show, we got to talk to them and stuff like that. And they're really personable, really nice. And Robert, we were talking about, I said, "Robert, so where do you go on vacation to get away from everything?" He's there. "I go to the furthest place I can possibly find and go on vacation." And it's just like, I don't like to vacation in like populous cities and stuff like that. I just like to get away, so that was kind of like the conversation I had with Robert Plant. So it was like, okay.
That's cool. He seems like he's a really down to earth guy, very kind-hearted, gentle person. He's an intellectual. He's very, very smart, and very well read. And like, I could see that. Well, if you listen to a lot of the album In Through the Outdoor or Physical, especially In Through the Outdoor, you can hear those roots. You can hear the Moroccan sounds. You can hear when they were traveling around. Kashmir's a great example, even from the earlier record from Houses.
Right.
They were all into that rate. Like, he was big into like the sitars and all of the different instruments from Africa and stuff. Like, that's brilliant, even today.
It's great to incorporate that into rock music because it just broadens everybody's perspective on music.
Yeah.
And Neil did that also when he was on his bike tours through Africa, and you can hear it on Power Windows. With the songs like Territories and Mystic Rhythms, you definitely hear that influence. We lost them. What happened? I got to do the show by myself now. We need to get into cassettes.
Well, here's speaking.
Here's the thing. We're only going to go about an hour. Now we're 56 minutes into it. we could go all night long. I'll call out.
I want everybody that's been here tonight to hit the like button, and thank you for being here. Mike and I want to do this, and we're going to keep doing this because we enjoy it, and we're doing it because we love it, and we appreciate you guys being here as well.
Yeah,
but speaking of Middle Eastern and sitar music, this is an album I was listening to this afternoon and yesterday. It's a band from California called Ohm, and they are what they call doom metal, sludge metal. And it's two of the guys from the band Sleep, and they play a lot of Middle Eastern sounds. And you see, this record only has 2 songs on each side, but it's all like sitars, and you feel like you're traveling in the Sinai Desert listening to this stuff. I love this kind of music as well, and it's because of Robert Plant, and it's because of all those guys that these guys do this stuff.
Yeah. You know what? This is going to be great because I'm going to start digging into your mind and types of music and stuff like that. And I'm sure that we can find this music on YouTube. So it's going to be pretty much relatively available, which is awesome nowadays, because before you couldn't find it.
Well, that was the time we grew up in, right? Remember, you had to go to the record shop, go to the big back. They had the big catalog, right? The like 15 phone books there, and you'd like, oh yeah, well, I can order you that from France. It's going to cost you $20 extra, but you can get that Nirvana record that no one else has here.
Yeah,
because the big catalog was the Bible. And I remember the big catalog. I spent so much time in my life going through that, trying to get rare records that I couldn't get here. Like
it's like the Beckett card list,
It
the
was
monthly Beckett.
and Zach's right. Ohm hits specifically in this very specific way. They're great.
Yeah, I would love to hear it. Yeah. So that's it. It's just Ohm.
Yep. Ohm. Yeah, and I did a short today actually of that record spinning.
I don't have anything to write on. There we go.
So you can just check out today's short, Mike. It'll be there, the name of the band and stuff. And
okay.
You can just go from there. I've been listing a lot of my vinyl stuff every day on the Shorts platform. It's a fun way to sort of show off what I'm listening to. And the other thing I'm thinking, maybe the chat can let us know, but maybe you and I could pick a record to check out this week.
Chat, let us know, and we'll get back to you. I mean, I got a week to listen to an album. Not a problem. I'll put it on while I'm doing all kinds of stuff around here.
Right. I think that'd be a cool aspect of it as well. We can pick a record and check it out. We can talk about it and introduce the chat to some of the stuff we enjoy, like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, for example. Some people may not know Asia. Some people may not know Sega or Ohm or some of the other bands. Joey, you're right on the money, brother. That's noted. We will certainly do that. But like it's for me, it's not just about Iron Maiden and Kiss and 4 other bands I listen to. It's about everything. Monolord, Man of War, Mogwai, Sleep. I love stoner metal. I love doom metal and sludge and heavy stuff. Opeth. Took me a while to understand Opeth. I seen them at Mayhem and I was like, what the fuck is this garbage? And then I listened to them again. I'm like, okay, they suck live, but they're a decent band.
Yeah.
And
I brought this up in one of our, I guess we were doing a live stream or something like that, or I was doing a break, and I said, am I too old to get into Tool?
No, never. Thank you.
No, because my boss is a huge Tool fan, and I started looking at Tool, and I was like, oh my God, they've been around for 30 some years. And then I start going through the catalog. It's like, they only have 5 albums? Like, what the hell? 30 years, 5 albums?
Yeah, right. And you're right. They're another great one.
Rush put out 5 albums in 4 years.
Exactly. It's funny because, like, I compare a lot of other bands to the bands I listen to as well. You're going, well, anyways. But you're right. And we're going to get into all kinds of this stuff going forward. We really appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate you taking some time and hanging out with me and sharing some of your music journey. We'll get into this deep stuff, guys. Like we're going to get into.
I could do this all night long.
We're going to get into bands, live shows, albums, the reasons why we like them, the reasons why they're awesome, who played on them, what influenced them. We're going to get deep into this stuff, way deeper than we did on Spin That Wax, and we're really going to drop it down. Zach, this is a big part of what you suggested to me. And I want to just shout out Zach's Collections as well. And I want to give him a special thank you for helping me kickstart this as well. And you, I want to say thank you to Sydney Cat as well, My Life Sunny Side Up. Go check out her channel and give her a sub and tell her that we sent you. She's a great supporter of this channel. She's a good friend. She's a great lady. And I want everybody in this chat to be subscribed to her and her Sydney Cat channel. So look up Sydney Cat and go check her out. She's great. She's great with the kids and people of all ages. She's just awesome, man. So go check her out. And all the rest of you guys in the chat, I love you lots. Plumps, I will get you blue when I'm off this live because I'm stuck on StreamYard and I can't open YouTube. It'll just make my computer die. So Ken C, I appreciate you, brother. And he's another one. Ken's another one. Ken C is from Boston area. Huge card guy as well, but loves music and we bonded a lot on music. And I really think this is going to be a cool thing. So thank you for doing this with me.
Everybody can bond on music. I mean, there's just so much of it out there. And it's just like, whenever I get in a bummed out mood or something like that, first thing I do, let's put on some music on YouTube and then I'll just do what I need to do and get through the day. Thank you so much for having me on. I really, truly appreciate it. Everybody in the chat, new friends. That's what I consider new friends with music in mind. And hopefully, once we get rolling and stuff like that, we get some of you fine people on the stream with us. You don't have to show your face or anything like that. But if you want to talk music, let's talk music because I'm open to every kind of music. I mean, it's like, I'm pushing 60 years old. I want to find out as much as I possibly can. I never want to stop growing. I never want to stop listening.
That's it, buddy. And we share that passion and that desire to continue to learn and that thirst for knowledge. And thanks, Zach, for dropping Mike's link. I will include it in the description.
You're the man.
We'll put that in the description of the video as well. This is our first one. We kind of mocked it up today because we were supposed to last week, but I was sick. So we're coming at this a bit late, but it's been a great show. And I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out with Mike and I tonight.
Yep.
And we'll see y'all next Sunday.
Yep. Thank you so much, everyone. Great to meet everyone. Have a great night. Have a great week.
And if you think the show sucks, let me know.
Let me know. If you want to get rid of me, get rid of me. Keep meeting.
The complaints department's right here. Love ya. See you later. Have fun, guys.
I'm the assistant complaint department.